In Europe, they built plazas because they already knew how they lived. They designed squares for gathering, fountains for cooling, benches for conversations, markets for the everyday ritual of community. They didn't have to guess, they designed from familiarity. But black culture, black people, all across the world, we never had plazas built for us, not at first, but we gathered anyway, in front yards, on stoops, at street corners and parking lots with music playing out of a trunk, in a church basement, under shade trees, because the sun told us where to meet, not architecture. We learned to improvise space because space wasn't designed with us in mind. So we meandered through what was given and made culture in the leftovers. That's history and fact. But this is where my story begins, because the work I want to do now isn't to keep wandering through inherited space. It's to finally design the spaces that match the rhythm of how black people throughout the entire diaspora actually live today. I want plazas where the ground plane understands dance, markets that understand seasoning and storytelling, public spaces that expect laughter, music, hair braiding, prayer circles, chess, double dutch, debate, mourning, celebration, all at once, overlapping and all valid. I want urban design that doesn't ask us to shrink ourselves to fit someone else's idea of civic calm. I want space that finally says, you were expected here. Because culture is behavior before it is formed. The Stoop was our first plaza. The Block Party was our first urban planning experiment. The church tambourine was our first acoustic strategy. The grill in the front yard was our first community market. The sunset was our first clock. We didn't need monuments. We needed permission to exist in space without translation. So over the next decade of my work, I want to design with the same clarity Europeans had when they built their plazas, but rooted in black rhythm, black social logic, black survival, black beauty, black congregation, and black futurism. Not assimilation, authorship. Architecture that no longer makes us wander to find ourselves, but meets us where we already are. That's the work. That's the legacy that I'm essentially trying to build with all of these different videos. And I want to tackle them one by one, starting off with Caribbean architecture, then Black American architecture, and then all the different expat migrants who had to move and meander throughout the world as black people and exist within a culture that had to fit in and inherit and assimilate, as opposed to stepping into cultural built environments that is architecture that was specifically made for them and their culture. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this from anyone who's black and not black, because I feel like this is a common theme for many people who have had to exist in the urban design and architectural framework built by others for their culture and had to assimilate. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Excited to hear it.